I'm Dhvsu, a postgraduate student of Don Honorio Ventura State University. It is my privilege to give my thoughts and personal insights on what true leadership and management in educational institutions. Leading and managing is a tough job. Sometimes leaders need to call some difficult choices. But above all else, it is to maintain order and responsibility among staff. In some cases, discretion of a leader is always at the test. Remembering what is at stake, it is a matter of giving priority to the things that everyone values. Leadership and management may share similarities and may have differences, but the totality of the big picture, it is all about responsibilities and higher expectations. This is not about position and privileges. A leader may be the most eloquent and highly intelligent person in an organization. But when a leader manages without a heart, it may cause big repercussions. Sometimes, the responsibilities that is given to a big leader may seem to be heavy to carry out, but decisions have to be made. A dilemma of what to keep and what to lose. But a true leader keeps his oath. For the youth, legacy may not seem to be so important. But to a leader who cares, legacy is important more than anything. Making a mark to this world can affect or change people's lives and profession. A leader may either make or break a person. In leading and managing educational institutions, there is more than to be mindful. School heads and administrations are given a high responsibility. The education of our youth. For that reason, a school head must therefore already know and understand his purpose as a leader. Without a doubt, it is the interest and welfare of the stakeholders, and most especially our students. Remember that we are educators, and being one, we are held to a higher standard. In closing, let me give you this verse adopted from a famous missionary, Charles Todd. Only one life, it will soon pass. Only what is done right will last. Thank you, everyone.
Who is a leader in society? Which qualities define such a person? Are leaders born or made? You often ask yourself, do I have what it takes to be a leader? By this time, you have already drawn an image of a leader. Is he someone who's feared or someone who is revered? We are often looking for answers of the traits of an effective leader. These are the individuals who greatly influence and inspire, while the others just submit and remain as followers. However, do you believe that there is a leader inside everyone and just needs to be awakened? And two, development of leadership skills is possible, but it requires time and effort. Without gradual work, a person who is not a strong leader from the outset is unlikely to become a good leader. According to the leadership guru, John Maxwell, leadership relies on discipline, not on emotion. During every season in life, leaders face crucial moments when they must choose between gearing up or giving up. To make it through those times, a leader must rely on the rock of discipline, not on the shifting sands of emotions. A leader always works with excellence. No one respects and follows mediocrity. Leaders who earn the right to lead give their best to whatever they do. They put great passion and hard work for it. Though a confident but not responsible person is likely to get the whole team in trouble. The team needs to rely on their leader. Everyone can win. In case of failure, responsible leaders should look for the ways out of the situation instead of blaming the others and criticizing them. Honesty is the next important quality. Naturally, people want to trust an honest leader. A good leader is not afraid of admitting his own mistakes and imperfections. He carefully analyzes the situation, and when something went wrong, he does everything to avoid the same mistake. An effective leader gives his power away. Sounds weird. Let me explain this further. One of the ironies of leadership is that you become a better leader by sharing whatever power you have, not by saving all for yourself. A leader is meant to be a river, not a reservoir. If you use your power to empower others, your leadership will extend far beyond your grasp. Leadership always requires courage. The word courage comes from the French word "cor," which means heart, which brings us to leadership with a heart. A leader shows compassion towards his subordinates. I remember my former boss, who just retired from the service to the government. She always reminded us to lead with love. Again, as John Maxwell puts it, to measure a leader, put a tape around his heart and hands. Leadership is not only about personal traits, but also about impeccable management skills. Management requires seeing a vision for the people that you lead or manage. A good leader is able to see the situation as a whole and divide it into subsections at the same time. A leader is a strategist who takes into account every detail of a problem to be able to find appropriate solutions for his team. Communication skills are also necessary trait of a leader. A good leader is a good communicator. He conveys his message very clearly that no subordinate misinterprets any of a leader's message. Now, ask a group of leaders on what it really means to be an effective leader, and you will hear a lot of answers. One would say vision, the other would say knowledge. Another group may answer communication, problem solving, and people skills. You see, these are all good answers. Look at the great leaders, and you will get to find all those mentioned qualities. But remember that no matter how many positive qualities a leader possesses, he cannot lead long if he lacks character. Without character, even the most intelligent and most talented leader's contribution to the followers will be futile, or even followers that is potential and soon to be easy to forget. To end my speech, I would like to quote Mother Teresa. As a leader, it is not about how much you do, but how much love you put into what you do that counts. Good afternoon.
Hello, this is from Mario Polintan, an EDD student at Don Honorio Ventura State University. Give some insights about leading with impact. If the people you led would tell you what impact you had on their life, what would they say? Would they say you were an example of the leader they want to become? It is often said that leadership is vital for success. What is leadership exactly? A common definition of leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. But for John Maxwell, leadership is influence. Leading with impact is being a leader of influence. It is the ability to influence people. The question is not what effective leadership is, but rather is how your influence affects everyone around you. Great leaders will impact the people around them in all three areas. 1. Passion. 2. Ethics. 3. Logic. First area of impact is their passion. What's their level of excitement? How passionate are they about what they are doing? When we work with passionate people, they have a natural attraction in which people want to be part. Second area of impact is ethics. How ethical are they in their decision making? Do they consider ethical implications? An ethical standard is higher than a legal standard. An ethical leader will hold themselves to a higher standard. Third area of impact is logic. Logic is the essence to which they approach a situation. Are they competent in making decisions? Do they have a correct information before they make a conclusion? Responding to a situation with a thought-out response requires more wisdom than a quick reaction to a circumstance. Leaders of impact focus on people around them, not on themselves. Leaders of impact are not arrogant. They are humble. Leaders of impact will not repel when their authority is questioned, but welcome question with an open mind. Leaders of impact are great communicators. They set a clear vision and goals for their team. They are consistent with keeping the team updated, and they are very much approachable. Leaders of impact are people of high integrity. They walk their talk. Everyone around them knows their integrity by their actions and not for their words. Leaders of impact support the team. They don't blame those around them for inefficiencies, but rather they teach, they train, they mentor, they coach to help others reach their maximum potentials. They facilitate success in others through encouragement, praise, and development. They don't dictate. They empower. They inspire people around them. Leaders of impact have a positive mindset. They learn from their mistakes, not blame others. They challenge themselves first before they challenge the team. They are excited about the growth of the team. And in the end, being a good leader is to lead with influence, is to lead with impact. Thank you very much.
Hello, Honorians. This is Noel Reyes Gonzaga, a Doctor of Education student. For today, I'll be talking about the need for high-quality principal. As they say, great schools do not exist apart from great leaders. The need for high-quality principal is one of the talk-about issues in the school community, as every school is searching for greatness and excellence. The present situation with the coronavirus has made it difficult for all of us in the academy to face the challenges. The fact that this is the first time that a pandemic has greatly affected the delivery of education in the 21st century. That is why the pandemic heightens expectation. Principals are in the hot seat to improve teaching and learning. In this most challenging time, to deliver a quality, relevant, accessible, and liberating education to all the school children. Having said that, what should be the beatitudes, qualities, or characteristics of a school leader or a principal? To name a few, let me elaborate 6 beatitudes that every principal should possess. Let me start with the first one. A principal should be a God-fearing. A school needs a principal who are a good servant of God. By then, teachers will be relaxed to approach a leader that has faith in God. The second one, a principal should be authority-driven and a man with the word. All teachers need a principal with the word and will speak on behalf of his constituents. A principal should have authority within his school. Teachers will respect a principal if he shows that he leads by example. A school needs a principal who will bring the voice of his teachers to the higher authority. The third one, a principal should be a good listener. A principal should listen to the problems of his subordinates. He must hear the positive and negative comments of the teachers. He must know how to balance, and he should be fair in his judgment. The fourth one, a principal must have a good leadership skills. Good leadership skills means to make the teachers respect each other in a certain school. This is the work of a principal. Without a good leader, everything will fall behind and the school will be at mess. Without someone to lead, teachers will fall apart. The fifth one, a school head must be resourceful. A principal should be resourceful in finding ways and means for the betterment of his school. He should not depend on the allotment from the department. Most of the time, the budget takes longer to process, so he needs to take the responsibility to gather ideas. Income generating of the school and partnership with the stakeholders will be a great help. And finally, the sixth one. A principal must be fair judge. A good principal listens to all issues and must have fair judgment. There is no room for biases in his school. This will only create chaos. So he needs to be firm and he needs to be firm all the time. These are the traits that a principal should possess. There are principals with good standing, but there are also who fail. There is no such perfect principal, but at least there is a standard. Again, this is Noel Reyes Gonzaga, a Doctor of Education student.
A blessing-filled day. I am Mr. Chris L. Cabiling, EDD student of Dhvsu. Today's Tedtalk, I will share with you the capabilities that a school leader needs. A school is a learning arena where diversity among people is evident. Therefore, a leader in school plays a pivotal role. With that, let me share with you the 3 capabilities that I faced from my experiences being in the private school, in a public school, and now at present that I am in the higher education. So come on, let us have them now. The first one is, a leader must be first an effective communicator. Communicating effectively with teachers, students, parents, and even with the community people can definitely create a condition for others to welcome their significant groups. It is by being an effective communicator that a leader can make established connections and relationships as well. Well, the second one is having a strong organizational skill. In school, there are lots of programs, projects, and events. That is why a leader must possess a strong and effective organizational skill in putting things in order that puts the system in order too, and lead the school in attaining its plans and objectives. The last yet the important one is having integrity. Having integrity makes a leader righteous, true to his words, acts accordingly with his words, and willing to own up mistakes. This is an important ingredient that leaders need to remember. Instead of blaming others or making excuses which will not lessen the sense of his leadership, rather would gain more trust from the people in an organization. In the same way, God looks at us not on our profession, status in life, or position, rather by how we use meaningfully and rightfully this life He gave to us. When these three are put together, a school will not just be one institution of learning, but more likely a training ground for life's attainment of goals and its clientele, and shaping the future leaders of the nation.
Hello. Hello, I'm Mr. Emmanuel M. Musni, an EDD student under the course Leading and Managing Educational Institution enrolled at Don Honorio Ventura State University. And this is an output for our TED Talk for this course and to our Professor Caridad O. Abuan, PhD. So I'll be doing now the output. You may ask why am I taking this course and for what purpose? Honestly, even after I have finished my first semester in this graduate course, things are not yet clear for me. But the moment I met an educational leader, a principal, who has a clear purpose of her God-given leadership position, my perspective became unblurry and clear as a crystal. That day I said to myself, by God's grace and blessing, I want to be just like her. But why, you may ask? As simple as that, you have been inspired? Yes, that is one quality of a true and genuine leader. They influence and encourage others to be leaders themselves. When we are in the presence of a good leader, it is just spontaneous. That his or her good qualities and characteristics radiates towards their people. One of those qualities and characteristics is that a true leader has good interpersonal skills. We have heard the Socratic maxim, know thyself. But for a leader, it does not end there. It is know thyself and thy people. By knowing your people, we may be able to see their strengths and even their weaknesses. A good leader let the strength of his or her people not to be stagnant or misused. A good leader let not the strength of his or her people to be stagnant or misused. A good leader maximizes the strength of his or her people. By doing so, they led them also to greener pastures and even propel them to be leaders themselves. Leaders also need to see the weaknesses of their people, not for him or her to condemn or judge them, but for him or her to help them. Oftentimes, we see weaknesses as a liability, but for a bold and courageous leader, they see this as an opportunity. It is an opportunity for them to assert the importance of the leadership position that they have. It is for them to exemplify servant leadership. Figuratively speaking, it is for them to shine out through the darkened weakness of the organization or institution. Enable for a leader to know all these things, he or she needs to interact with his or her people. Inevitably, it requires relational skills that goes out from professional degree up to a more personal degree. In the Jewish culture, the cultural setup of our Lord Jesus Christ, rabbis who are teachers, leaders, and other influential people teach their subordinates or disciples by being with them in their everyday life. If we see in the Bible, Jesus taught his disciples by eating with them, sleeping with them, doing errands with them, and a lot of things. A method of leadership that history itself saw its impact and radiated Christianity to the four corners of the world. By establishing good relationship, one leader may not only see the good and not so good aspect of his or her people, but he or she may rub off the vision that he or she possesses. In that way, people experience firsthand what is needed to be done and made their purpose in an organization clear. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, and good afternoon, especially to our very respected Professor Dr. Caridad O. Abun. I am Consuelo J. Gregorio, a student of Doctor of Education major in Educational Management. Today, I am sharing with you my insights on Cha-Cha as style on leading and managing educational institutions and systems. Health Fitness Revolution 2019 proves to benefit a healthy life, less stressful, contributed to a high self-esteem, and established controlled body mass index can be achieved through dancing. It would be very engaging, socializing, healthy and interactive, fun, loving to blend with, and enjoying every quick, repeated single step, as to entice to proceed to other variation of steps, splitting with step combination and coordination, the bodily movements, intellectual, and a positive emotion. Its routines promote balance and rhythm. Cha-Cha is transfiguration of strict, stiff, a non-emotional experience, stressful, solo flight, and complicated, divided, and unharmonized skill-joy monarchy of management. A leader who would adopt a Cha-Cha style of management possesses traits like humility, to walk his talk with genuine concern and support to his people, to let his subordinates come up with their best, to be their guide to them, and be able to let his subordinates realize their dreams, to treat them like family. When work seems not a work anymore, but to let them fall in love with the delegated task. To set trends of moving up to success in every little step the group has to achieve. This cha-cha craze of leadership and management has made him to be very contagious. Another trait is an influencer who leads with impact and has the partnership of success, committed to the group, decisive, initiates the best to lead, despite with splitting decision with a combination of divided views and coordination of questions of doubts. The leader was able to influence their way of thinking about life because he is an intellectual giant. He has a mastery of his turf to magnify affirmation of his group as all potential leaders through sharing himself, his expertise of mind-blogging experiences. He is a visionary and a planner with a strong commitment to lead impact. He is also a kind of leader who is transformational. He redesigns the plan of the goal to equip the group with fast-changing international and local demands, mostly during adversities. Mastered the cha-cha style of leadership and management, mood and setup. Once the cha-cha craze has internalized, the sweetness of smile and the dancing of cha-cha becomes part of systems, instigate the passion of love around them. Allow me to translate and borrow the Health Fitness Revolution 2019 Top 10 Health Benefits of Dancing to apply to cha-cha style of leading and managing. The tremendous results are: first, uplifting and fun. The routine to involve and engage in the organization becomes a habit to uplift every member's morale, that getting together is fun. Second, muscle toning. Continuous participation of cha-cha craze leads to firm bones, represent the organization's goal. Third, bones and joints. The expressions of stability and solidarity culture of united we stand, divided we fall, as an act of greatness to the community. Fourth, the flexibility to embrace change and perform duties to serve for the benefit of the success of the organization. Fifth, brain food. Mentally healthy, well pampered, secured, satisfied, and perform the best they can. Sixth, burns fat, associated, free from worries and anxiety. The seventh, creative outlet. Well, there's an avenue of expression through arts to best explore talents and creativity. 8. Conditioning oneself. Preparation for promotions and career growth. 9th. Endurance to deliver the highest level of performance. 10th. Social connectivity. The active cha-cha collaboration and socialization let every member of the organization stays connected. For a final tone, my insights on cha-cha as a style on leading and managing educational institutions and systems with the fusion of the servant kind of leaders mirror the greatest of all leader for life, our Lord Jesus Christ. An influencer that all of us have in our hearts at any given moment. It is our calling to execute. Living through impact is living the right way. Magnifies the success of leadership through the success of all. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless us all.
So, why is there a need for high-quality principals? Hi, I'm Jelan Pineda Galan, an elementary school principal 3, taking up Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management at Don Honorio Ventura State University. Being a principal calls for certain characteristics that can either be innate or acquired. The school head stands as the leader, the manager, and the administrator of the school rolled into one. According to John Maxwell, a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. The school head should always be on top of things. He is always at the helm of the planning and visioning where the school should go. He exudes charismatic influence by empowering personnel to the attainment of goals and objectives of the school and the community at large. I, for one, was influenced by my mother, who was a principal herself. I was so fascinated by how she handled school matters, particularly in motivating her teachers to achieve greater heights. Managing the school, on the other hand, requires monitoring curriculum implementation, pupil achievement, staff development, and stakeholders' engagement and involvement. As cliché as it may sound, it really takes a village to educate a child. Judicious handling of funds, overseeing completion of tasks, and smooth flow of school processes fall under the administrative functions of a school head. I consider this the most crucial part of our job, for it can make or break us. It is very sad to note that graft and corruption is one of the leading causes of the downfall of some administrators. Being aware of these duties and responsibilities, a school head must not only possess competence, but as well as sound values and people skills. For what good a leader are you when you have no followers? Integrity, transparency, aura, and firm decision-making make the stakeholders trust the administration and the system in general. When trust is cultivated, strong linkage and support follow. So you see, it is not enough to be good or to be kind or to be intelligent. For high-quality principals make schools progress, their personnel advance personally and professionally, lead pupils in achieving their dreams, and pave the way for nation building. Good day, everyone, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
A blessed and fruitful day to everyone. Before we start this video, let me introduce myself to you. I am Rosette Ann M. Marientes, a student of Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management, and also a senior high school teacher 3 from the Division of Pampanga. For today's video, I am here to discuss to you on how to lead with integrity, with passion, and with consistency to create an impact to everyone and to become a successful leader someday. Let's unravel the world of leadership. Are you ready? As an educational leader, you should take time to grow your practical skills, adjust your style to meet the complex demands of your community, and try to embody the qualities of effective leaders. While you're making positive changes around you, it is always important to continue evaluating and improving your own leadership competencies. How to become an effective leader to create an impact to everyone and to become a successful leader someday. I would like to share with you the 10 traits of effective leaders. Effective leaders can lead with perseverance, lead with integrity, lead with courage, lead with commitment, lead with compassion, lead with consistency, lead with impact. Let me share with you a famous quotation According to John C. Maxwell, a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Never give up. Keep moving. Why? Because the best is yet to come. Once again, I am Rosette Ann M. Marientes, a student of Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management. Thank you and God bless.
Pleasant day to everyone. My name is Emily Groans, Teacher 3 from Tinajeron National High School, Maine, and one of the students of Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management at Don Honorio Ventura State University. Today, I am about to share with you how to lead with impact. Leadership is defined as the process in which an individual influences the group of individuals to attain a common goal. The goal is attained by mutual cooperation and cohesive behavior. A leader infuses a sense of positivity and directs others to reach the specified goal. Also, leadership is among the major drivers to improve the performance of an organization. It is believed that an organization's kind of style of leadership influences its overall results. To create a transformational environment within an educational setting, effective leaders establish and maintain several vital components. First and foremost, leadership is evident in a school that shares a moral purpose and a vision. This vision and purpose must drive the mission. Therefore, it is not enough for a leader to have a moral purpose. She must express it, clarify it, and ask others to commit to it. Secondly, effective teachers and administrators continually work to develop and maintain positive relationships with students by establishing mutual respect, trust, and safe environment for learning. The importance of relationships extends beyond the classroom. Therefore, establishing productive working relationships with colleagues is critical to the success of instructional teams, buildings, district committees, and a plethora of school parent community organizations. In the words of Michael Fullan, if moral purpose is job 1, relationships are job 2, as you can't get anywhere without them. Thirdly, effective educational leaders lead by example. They model and exhibit the very characteristic they wish to instill in their students and observe in their colleagues. Successful leaders motivate others by communicating, modeling enthusiasm, commitment, integrity, flexibility, and innovation. According to Forbes, when good leadership is in place in a group, it can be felt throughout the entire organization. With good leadership, corporate culture isn't forced, it is developed. Communication is daily and open. Everyone understands the vision and goals of the organization, and everyone has input into how they can be improved. Everyone feels that they are an important part of the whole and that every job matters within the organization. Decisions for promotions are based on picking people of integrity whose talents and experience best fit the positions. Employees are encouraged to compete with their own best to get ahead, and they understand that helping their co-workers to succeed is the best way to get ahead themselves. The result of good leadership is high morale, good employee retention, and sustainable long-term success. According to Brian Tracy, become the kind of leader that people would follow voluntarily, even if you had no title or position. Indeed, leading with impact means a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent.
Almusni, a student of Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management, and my topic is all about capabilities of leadership in school. I will now be sharing to you what made me pursue this postgraduate course and what gave me a vision that someday, by the help of God, push through a leadership position. Is it that day that I met a very accommodating, understanding, and down-to-earth individual, yet at the same time, firm, influential, and purpose-driven leader? It was made clear in my mind that one day I want to be like her. As I observed as to how she handles administrative concerns, I saw that it always falls on the foundation and principles of human relations. She made it clear that everything that she decides upon is to the benefit of her teachers that will eventually ripples for the benefits of every pupils in our school. One of her notable gestures is to constantly ask, in verbal or written, everything that we need for the delivery of our instruction. By providing everything that we need, we are able to effectively teach our pupils. The pupils enjoy the availability of learning materials that they need. This method of our administrator went on until she was transferred to the central school in our SDO. It is not only the material provision that is very commendable, but also how she balances out leading from the top and leading with us. That trait of being able to mingle with her subordinates opens a wide door of relationship, not only professionally but also personal connections. As I look inside myself, I saw the similarity of how I relate to people. It encourages me to push through and be like her. It serves a wind beneath my wings that because of our similarities, I, too, can eventually serve my colleague, to serve with the genuine concerns, and to serve with a heart. Leaders are asked to be constantly connected to people and vice versa. People are motivated when leaders acknowledge the purpose of the given task to them. One of my favorite proverbs says, "No man is an island." For many of us, it is just but a cliche. Some may even say, "I already heard that." But for me, it is my guiding saying, I am what I am right now. Not because of myself alone, but it is because of the people around me. People who help me. People who push me to my limits. people who inspires me, and most of all, people who refuse to leave me and continue to walk with me in the journey of life.
Good morning. I am Jennifer Y. Malik, Dhvsu EDT students. Leadership matters. Do you find yourself dreaming of sitting in a school administrator's office of your very own instead of the one you currently share with your students? So, it may be time to start thinking about moving from the classroom into an educational leadership role as an assistant principal or as a school principal. Transitioning from the classroom to the principal's office can seem like a daunting step to take, but it could be the best decision you ever make. I understand how scary it can be to move outside your comfort zone of teaching into something new, exciting, and challenging like leading a school. Not every teacher has a dream of becoming a 21st century school leader in education. Don't get me wrong, a teacher is a leader, but not on the entire school. Educational leaders play a pivotal role in affecting the climate, attitude, and reputation of their schools. They are the cornerstone on which learning communities functions and grow. With successful school leadership, schools become effective incubators of learning places, where students are not only educated but challenged, nurtured, and encouraged. Not only will you find these career tips helpful if you are a budding leader, but you can pass them on to the seasoned administrators as well. Everyone can use a little brushing up on their skills. In this video, you will know the following 15 tips designed to assist educators who are seeking to be strong administrators and better leaders. First, demonstrate team building and collaboration skills. As one of the anchors of the school, you are directly responsible for leading your team of staff and students to succeed. Therefore, it is crucial that you have developed and are able to demonstrate how you are able to unite the school as one and lead in times of crisis or changes. Be the first person to take action when something goes wrong. Second, ability to coordinate diverse people. More than likely, your particular school is a multicultural melting pot with regard to students and staff alike. It is essential that you treat all individuals equally, regardless of what gender, race, age, creed, social, economic level, etc. Take the time to get to know your staff as individuals. Learn what personality type each of them falls into and figure out how to coordinate with them accordingly. Third, foster strong written and verbal communication skills. Whether you are speaking at an assembly, addressing the school board, or writing a grant proposal or your philosophy of administration and leadership, you must be able to communicate your thoughts clearly and concisely. If you find you struggle with either writing or public speaking, it may be a good idea to take night classes or distance learning courses to improve those pertinent skills. Fourth, organize and encourage professional development, seminars, and in-service. All staff in your building needs to keep their skills sharpened and their minds alert. An excellent way to achieve this is to bring in guest speakers or coordinate seminars that cater to a broad audience. Fifth, remain up to date on current educational administration trends or concerns. In the field of education, new thoughts technique and devices are rising rapidly. It is essential that you stay on top of these issues, understand them, know how to communicate these new ideas to colleagues, and are willing to incorporate as many inspiring inventions as possible. 6. Promote school spirit events. If a student and staff morale remain high, so will test scores. By arranging assemblies, symposium, and other school-wide events on a regular basis, you will surely attract positive attention and boost school spirit, resulting in greater enrollment rates and a lower rate of teachers' turnover. 7. Encourage community involvement and professional event. If you are a new school administrator, it is of the utmost importance that you make an excellent first impression on the local community. By hosting open houses for the school and promoting community involvement among your students and staff, you will be able to foster relationship with close neighbors and local businesses. 8. Maintain an optimistic, can-do attitude. Whether you are facing a crisis at the school or the trials of a gloomy economy, make sure that you remain positive and upbeat. If the educational leader is optimistic and promotes an attitude that will get better, this feeling will be contagious with the other staff. Enthusiasm is another great asset that you must possess and display to be an effective administrator. 9. Offer positive reinforcement to students and staff. As mentioned, positivity can be a great driving force. By offering positive encouragement to students and staff, such as letting them know you are proud of them or rewarding them for a job well done, you will be able to cultivate a happy, productive, and success-driven learning environment. 10. Play an active role in IEP development. Individualized education plan programs play a crucial role in assisting students with disabilities or delayed skills. And as such, you should want to be a part of IEP planning and development, regardless of what the role you are currently hold. By speaking with colleagues, parents, and students, you will show that you are truly dedicated to help all students learn and progress. 11. Drive learning and success for all. As noted, it is vital that school leaders are advocates to help each and every child learn, regardless of age, grade level, disabilities, and personal circumstances. Do as much as you can to build an inclusive and supportive school community, which is dedicated to helping all students reach their full potentials. This can include scheduling guest speakers, hiring specialists, making referrals to the appropriate agencies, locating materials, and talking to parents. 12. Parent relationship building. Parents play a key role in the success of their children. The same can be said for the success of your school. Family members are a wonderful resources when you need extra help with putting on a fundraiser or school-wide event. If you would like to increase communication and familiarity with the individuals, you may want to hold parent workshop and attend PTA meetings. 13. Share best practices with experienced and new school administrators. As the old adage goes, 2 heads are better than 1. By working with other professionals in the same field, you will be able to hear different perspectives on various topics of interest. If it is not already in place, try to organize a monthly meeting with educators and administrators across the district. 14. Understand school policies and the superintendent expectations. Regardless of how high you climb the administrative totem pole, there will always be someone higher than you, whether it is a principal, superintendent, or the school board. Therefore, it is essential that you know what is anticipated of you right from the start, thus leading to few, if any misunderstanding and complications down the road. 15. Retain a professional leadership appearance. Style of dress, personal grooming habits, and overall appearance all say a great deal about a person. If you want to be taken as a serious professional, then you must be dressed like one. This does not mean you need to go out and buy suits or blazers worth of 1,000 pesos. It simply means that you need to look like fit the part. Remember, there are many other qualities to learn and develop if you wish to enter a role in education administration. Good leadership is about cultivating a shared vision and building a strong leadership team. Effective principals are dedicated, well-prepared individuals who know how to create vision, share authority, and are ultimately held accountable for their school success. Thank you for watching. This is Jennifer Waimani, Dhvsu EDD student.
Hello, this is Glenda Marie Tubig Maniago, and I am currently connected at Pampanga State Agricultural University. Today, I will share my insights about leadership. Leadership is an activity of leading a group of people with shared vision, mission, goals, and objectives. We have 6 traits of a leader: drive, desire to lead, integrity, intelligence, self-confidence, and relevance to the job. The first trait of a leader is drive. Leaders exhibit a high effort level. They have relatively higher desire for achievement, have a lot of energy, show initiative, and they are persistent in their activities. Second, the desire to lead. Leaders have a strong desire to influence and lead others. They demonstrate and the willingness to take the responsibility. The third trait is integrity. Leaders build trusting relationship between themselves and followers by being truthful and by showing consistency between word and deed. The fourth trait is self-confidence. Followers look for the absence of the self-doubts. Leaders need to show self-confidence in order to convince followers on the rightness of goals and decisions. The fifth trait of a leader is intelligence. Every leader must be intelligent enough to synthesize and interpret a large amount of information, to solve problems and make correct decisions. The sixth trait of a leader is job-relevant knowledge. Effective leaders must have a high knowledge about the organization and how this information can be shared in legality of different matters. 3 things happen without leadership: confusion, low performance, and friction. A message from John Maxwell: a leader knows the way, goes the way, shows the way.
Before I move ahead, I would like to thank Dr. Caridad Abuan for giving us this opportunity to express our insights, our own experiences in leadership. Okay, to begin with, I would like to quote Ronald Reagan for his famous saying about leadership, that the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. Indeed, he is the one that gets people to do the greatest things. So what makes really a great leader? Does it need the power, opposition to lead an organization, or the ability to empower other people to do great things? Well, to be a leader, you must have the ability to influence and inspire other people from your own values and create a change or innovation in achieving your goals and objectives. Well, in my 7 months as an officer in charge in our school, I must say that leadership is not an easy task. It is not for the people with weak heart. It's about the vision, the aim of the school. As an OIC, dealing with my co-teachers, leading them, guiding them along with their peculiarities, it really tests my patience and perseverance. There are times they don't follow instructions. Sometimes I've heard them. He's not our principal. She's not our principal, rather. She's just our co-teacher. So that response, it's like a bang on my ears. It challenged me as a leader to be firm enough on my decisions. I told myself that I have to be tough. I have to be consistent on my decisions as well as on my directions. Not just to be an authoritative, but to show them what is the right thing to do as a leader. So the responsibility that was given on my shoulder as a leader was very challenging. From then I started to create my own vision, my own philosophy. I created a positive and a working or collaborative atmosphere with my colleagues. I started to know each of them more even better. I discussed school matter-related activities. I plan with them and accept suggestions as well. And in giving instructions, giving directions, I see to it that they were all clarified. I do the first move and then they followed. It's like I walk my talk. Until I was able to build trust with them. Because I believe to gain trust and respect from your people is the hardest thing, or is the hardest thing you can earn as a leader. Because from that, from building trust from your people, you will be able to create a positive value and you will motivate them to work effectively. And I believe that is a good sign for a positive result of your goals. These things made me realize that anyone can be a leader as long as you have the heart to your people, as long as you have the passion in serving other people, and the skill in leading your organization will eventually honed through your experiences. That is also important. So not to have the authority as a leader to direct and instruct your people, but to use that authority in serving them, in helping them to achieve their goals and objectives, because their achievements is also your achievement as a leader. So I guess the quality of an effective leader should have the passion. You should have your heart to your people, the character, your skills and experiences in leading them. And at the same time, you must be committed as a leader of your school. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hi, a blessed day to all. I'm Romina Maningas. So for today, I will be sharing with you my insight on why do we really need to have a high quality school principal. We do all know that our principal is the soul in our school, meaning they're also not just a leader, not just the head in our school, but they are the soul. In their hands lies the future of everyone, especially our learners. In the division of Pampanga, we have a tagline, which is Para sa Bata. We do everything for them. We owe everything for them. So enable for us in giving it back to them, we need to be the best. How? Me, as an inspiring school principal in the future and in God's time, and if it will permit me, I will do my best to be a high quality school principal. We are here not just with our dream, not just what we want. We live for a purpose, and that purpose is to serve others. Mark 12, verse 31 stated that, love your neighbor as yourself. Meaning, how can you love others if you don't love yourself? Likewise, you cannot love them without loving yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. So as a leader, you must have the passion in serving others. This quality, this heart, will serve as a purpose. We are all here for the unity of to having a high quality education. Principal is also considered as the captain of the ship. As a captain in a ship, the captain is the one who is responsible in and out of the ship. It may sink, it may float, or even to have a smooth sailing. Likewise, for us future principal and aspiring ones, we need to have this good relationship with our crew, that is our teachers. And we need to also consider our learners, our own children. We need to love our work. For if we do, this work can no be longer as considered as work. This is a mission. We know during our baccalaureate days, they keep telling us why taking education. There's no money in it, right? Yes, it is. There's really no money in education. But more than the money, we have this gratitude in our heart. Every time we see or learn that our previous students have a very good future, it's because of us. As a teacher and wanting to be a leader, a high quality school principal must always start at the bottom. For in that hardship, we build our character. We mold ourselves. Let me leave you with this quotation by John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspired others to dream more, to do more, to become more, you are a leader. Be one, inspire others, share love, and be a good and high quality school principal. Bye!
I'm Dhvsu Punsalan, a graduate school student of Don Honorio Ventura State University. Today, allow me to share with you how to lead with impact. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Man becomes great exactly in the degree in which he works for the welfare of his fellow men." What does it mean to be great when it only comes from the horse's mouth? Wouldn't it be more pleasurable if it comes from the testimonies of others? Leading with impact doesn't only entail one's greatness, but his ability to empower others. Be a servant leader. You don't need to serve people alone, but be there in their midst and join them as they reach excellence. Consider yourself as one of the building blocks or the components to construct an empire of success. Be like a stage parent who is patiently cheering up backstage in order to uplift the morale and the confidence of his child. Be the air that will support their wings in order for them to fly and soar up high as God intended them to be. Gain wide range of opportunities by leveraging your potentials as a leader and with your fellows in the organization in the same time. You too can learn from each of your brethren. Encourage them to have a positive mindset and become optimistic at all times. Motivate them to perform at their best. Be able to work across the organization in order to build collaborative relationships. Be there not only to impress, but also to express. Above all, lead with love, and surely this invested love will create an impact to each of them.
And I am here to talk about leadership. Leadership, as we all know, is the act of motivating the people to achieve a common goal. Well, just like in any organization, we need leaders who are capable of leading and having the abilities to inspire the people to grow more, to become more, and to be more. I want to share with you some tips on what a good leader must have. And I'll be sharing it with you through an acrostic word, leaders. Of course, we will start with the letter L, which is listener. As a leader, you should know how to listen to your people. You should not just be the one talking and talking and talking. You should let your people speak their mind. Who knows, they might have the brilliant ideas to achieve the task easier, isn't it? Next, we have the letter E, which is example. As a leader, you must be a good example. You should walk the talk. Just like what John Maxwell once stated, a leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Next, we have the letter A, which stands for appreciative. As a leader, you should know how to appreciate your people. Genuinely giving words of affirmation is a sign of a good leader. And you know what? When you appreciate your people, that's the time when they get inspired to do more of their best shots. Next, we have the letter D, which is discipline. As a leader, you should exercise discipline. Because when you know the value of discipline, it allows you to give your full attention to your task. It is as if you are having this horse's blinkers or blinders so you won't be distracted in achieving your goals. Next, we have the letter E, which is energy giver. When the rest of the members feel empty and like giving up, you should be the one charging their batteries, encouraging them, and telling them that giving up is not part of the choices. Second to the last letter is R, which is rule. As a leader, you should know how to rule your people. Yes, it is given that being a leader is not easy, but when you know how to rule your people using both your IQ and your EQ, for sure everything will fall into place, everything will follow. And last but certainly not the least letter is the letter S. I remember one of my professors told me that whenever you serve with smile. You know that you are a good leader when the people around you are happy to see you, always happy to see you, as if they are seeing light and hope in you whenever you smile. You know what? Sometimes the only answer to a bad day is a genuine smile. You, yes, you who are watching right now, I know someday you will be a leader. Please do me a favor, be a good one. Thank you.
This is a TED Talk in leadership and management. Mahatma Gandhi once said, a good leadership is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. Long time ago, when I was just 13 years old, I thought that my parents sent me to school for me to learn what I need to learn, like basic math, comprehensive reading, and among others. But things have changed when I realized that it's not only like that I need to do something great, that I need to attain something that could make them proud. These were all happening because I was surrounded by great people in schools then. I must say that I had the best schools since this had contributed a lot to who I am today. We know that great schools do not exist without great leaders. It is proven that good principals are the key to successful schools. In a quick search in the internet, the attributes of being a good leader and school leadership are listed. In fact, each of us can name few of these. But in this talk, we will not focus on the qualities of good leader. Today, I will state some reasons why there is a need for high-quality school principals. First, it's because principals are heads. They are the main person who makes decisions. They are in charge in assessing teaching methods, monitor students' achievements, revise policies, procedures, and administer budget, and many others. An effective school leader must perform all of this with ease but still with quality outputs. Second, it's because we are approaching the Industrial Revolution 5.0. The teacher development is very important. Teacher professional development must be prioritized, and the principals has the strong position to do it. And lastly, it's because of the changing characteristics of students. They are now called Generation Alpha. Studies reported that these generations are tech-savvy. Artificial intelligence is their reality, and their learning is highly personalized. Since learning is what schools is all about, schools principals must have plans that prioritize the changing needs of this student. That good leaders make us feel good. When we have good leaders, we idolize them. And we are motivated. And if we are motivated, everything will follow, I am sure. Then this will produce quality outcomes. If the things mentioned a while ago are addressed properly, I am sure a school organization success will be remarkable. Thank you for listening. This is Louis R. Valenzuela, pursuing Doctor of Education.
Magandang buhay! I am Gina Villegas, EDD student. What does it take to be a great leader? Creativity, compassion, determination. Of course, these are all admirable traits of good leaders, and there are many more. But what sets great leaders apart from the rest is their willingness to look themselves. I started my career as a contractual classroom teacher in the private school. After passing the licensure examination, I was moved to public school as local school board and was eventually promoted to a permanent position after 6 months. After 3 years of permanency, I tried to join the promotion for teacher 2 position, but guess what? I failed. I thought then that I still need to learn and improve. So I decided to enroll for postgraduate studies. Year 2016, when I got my master's degree, I joined the promotion for the second time for teacher 3 position. But just like the first time, I failed again. So I passed my credentials for equivalent reclassification form, ERF, to get that position. A year after, I joined the promotion for master teacher position. And for the third time, I failed. I compare myself then to my batchmates who are now principals and head teachers. I said to myself, what could be the things that they can do that I cannot do? What qualities they have that I don't have? The most valuable thing that I've learned from that experience is to examine my personal qualities. According to Maxwell, leadership is influence. There are many different kinds of leaders. Therefore, there are no set qualities that have to be present in all leaders. Rather, an effective leader draws from a range of personal qualities to help them deal with different circumstances and challenges. Part of growing strong as a leader is through expanding our own personal qualities. When we work or when we are unstrong in a particular quality, it is also wise to seek the contributions to others who are strong in that quality. And these are the qualities maybe I need to become a leader. First, self-regulation. This includes self-awareness. People with high self-awareness understand what makes them tick and how to respond effectively. They have more direction, purpose, influence, and success in their professional and personal lives. This also comprises your values, personality, needs, habits, and emotions, and how they affect your actions and the actions of others. You'll be better able to manage your stress and make better decisions and ultimately lead others to do the same. Self-regulation understands your own motivations, strengths, and weaknesses, controls emotions, and stick to decisions. Second is courage. Courage doesn't hide from challenging or scary situations. Brave yet prudent, ready to face challenges and answer for the consequences of decisions. Speaks up for what is right, even if there is opposition. Courageous leaders lead with principles. They make decisions with the potential for revolutionary change. Their boldness energizes and inspires their teams to make a difference. Moreover, nearly all courageous acts represent one or more of three types of courageous. First, the courage of initiative and action, making first attempts, pursuing pioneering efforts, and stepping up to the plate. Second, the courage of confidence in others, letting go of the need to control situations or outcomes, having faith in people and being open to direction and change. And third, the courage of voice, raising difficult issues, providing tough feedback, and sharing unpopular opinions. In short, courageous person try more, trust more, and tell more. And lastly, character. Character is fundamental to effective leadership because good character builds trust, and without trust, people will not follow you. Character shapes how we engage world around us, what we notice, what we reinforce, who we engage in conversation, what we value, what we choose to act on, how we decide. It is a clear sense of the values that guide your behavior every day. The sum of virtues, values, and traits equals good character. I just want to emphasize the pastor said, shallow values produce empty victories. You may reach success but feeling unhappy and empty because you did not develop the kind of character that earns respect. You didn't develop the virtue of faith because God is not the foundation of what we're doing. In the contrary, if God is the center, you will feel abundant success and happiness because at the end of the day, it's not a question of greatness as a leader, but a question of what kind of person you want to be. Thank you and good day.